good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today we are going back behind my Spotify. This time around, we're going to be giving a good old album review to Citizen Soldier's new album, Icarus. Now, I've never actually reviewed a Citizen Soldier album per se. I have put Scarecrow and ICU on both my albums of the year for last year and the year prior. But this album didn't actually make my album of the year, and I'm going to explain why. Now, before we get into this, I do want to talk about their other albums, and we're just going to cut straight to this. And I want to talk about when I got into Citizen Soldier, because this is probably going to be a better explanation for Icarus and why I'm going to review it the way I'm going to review it. But just going into all of their albums prior. So I didn't actually get into Citizen Soldier until, I don't want to say 2021, because I'm pretty sure it was 2022. Because they dropped This Is Your Sign Part 2. The first song I heard by them was Unsaid, and that was the breakdown with Nathan Johnny. They checked out the band, and that's where I got the recommendation from. Or not recommendation, but like, they didn't really like it too much because it wasn't their style, but I liked it enough to go and check it out on my own. And I guess my first introduction, like, I just added all their music prior, and then Scarecrow was actually my first introduction to the band, I would say. I mean, I don't know if I count Unsaid, because this isn't the album that I listened to in full. Scarecrow was the album I listened to in full, and I just want to say it is a perfect album from front to back. I know a lot of people don't like that there's 18 songs on it. I think, but then again, like, if you this would have been 24 if you were to combine that into one album, which, to be fair, it should be combined, because I think that would be cool. But this is a perfect album from front to back. I don't care that there's 18 songs on here. Doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. It just, there's more music to listen to. I don't know why having so many songs on an album is a complaint, although with some, it depends on the album. Because, like, if, because of what type of music Citizen Soldier makes, the music itself is worth listening to over and over again, for me personally. There's some bands that, like, if they have a 15-track album, maybe I won't listen to all of it, but that is just me. But I love that album front to back. And then last year they dropped ICU. Again, another example of an album that had front to back bangers. Like, every single track on this album was good. Every single one. I had no complaints with this record. Like, I think I liked other songs more than others, but, like, still, I love the album. I think, like, ICU and Scarecrow are probably the only records I might really enjoy from Citizen Soldier. Because even going back, like, looking through This is Your Sign albums, Down the Rabbit Hole, and Relentless, because I've heard all the songs from them. They're okay. They're not the greatest albums in the world. Although I think I will listen to the songs separately from album playthroughs, but that's just me. Now, let's get into Icarus, and I want to explain why I didn't like this album. There's a lot of reasons, and I think it might show in, I don't know if it shows in the Spotify plays, but you can look at, like, ICU and Icarus, you can look at ICU and Scarecrow and be like, oh, people love these albums. And then you can look at the plays on here and it's like, well, this was interesting. Like, for me personally, I didn't click with any of these songs. Every single one that came out, I was like, I really don't like this. Like, it wasn't for me. And that's not to dog on Citizen Soldier, but here's the thing, man. I think, like, I get it. They're an independent band, and they need to put out music in order to make income. They're also going on tour. And they just need to make money for, you know, this to continue. They rushed this album out. Like, you can tell, because one, it has less songs, but also, like, dude, to continuously drop an album every single year, I think is a problem. What I'm hoping is Citizen Soldier takes a break next year, which isn't ideal, but dude, take a breather, take a break, come back in 2026 with a great album. That, me personally, that's what I recommend, because, dude, truly, I can't listen to this album. Like, if a song, I'm not gonna skip a song if it comes on. Like, I have a playlist called Glitch, which is like, a bunch of copyright-free songs, and Citizen Soldier's in there. So if these songs comes on, I'm not gonna not play them, but, like, I don't know, man. This album was kind of, funny enough, this album was kind of a letdown. I think it's probably my least favorite album from them, considering I mean, I've heard songs off of their previous albums before, but I haven't played those albums in full. But, like, if we're comparing this to I See You and Scarecrow, it's not a good album. None of the songs clicked with me. The thing is, with I See You and Scarecrow, all of the songs on there clicked with me. Like, I made a connection to the songs. I liked the songs. They were very good. But here it's like, you know, I really didn't click with the sound of the songs. I didn't connect with them. I don't know. This felt kind of like a throwaway album, almost, which I hate to say, but, like, I didn't enjoy it. I did not. And I think, well, I do hope Citizen Soldier takes a break and they reevaluate their sound. Just kind of reevaluate what they want to do for albums, because I feel like doing one every year. I mean, look at their, dude. It's kind of wild. Like, they've never, like, obviously signing with the record label is important because that's how you're gonna make your income, you know. But, like, 2019 album, 2020 an album, 2 albums in 2020. Well, no, 1 album in 2021, 2 albums in 2022. Obviously, I See You in 2023. And an album in 2024. If they do, I'm hoping they just take a year gap and hopefully just play shows and write some better material, because this ain't it, Chief. It's just not. But I'm hoping to see Citizen Soldier come back, and come back strong. Like, come back I See You Scarecrow strong. Just drop a big album with nothing but good songs, and maybe I'll, you know, listen again. But at this point, yeah, not a big fan of the album. If I had to give it a rating, I mean, I don't want to rate it super low, but I probably am going to, because 3 out of 10 for, like, usually, like, I'll give it, if there were some songs I liked on it, I give it a 5. If I didn't really completely like the album, but, like, dude. And also, another thing, just to add, Where Were You and Save Me From My Angels are basically this. They're not basically the same song, but they sound the same. But yeah, I really can tell you, like, what songs I enjoyed in here, because I don't. They're not memorable songs, I think, is the one thing I want to get at. They're not memorable at all. Like, I think Where Were You, I can hear the chorus in my head, and then Save Me From My Angels, because they're pretty much the same sounding chorus. Good Old Days, I know, was acoustic, but I don't really remember. That's the thing, like, a lot of Citizen Soldier songs are memorable. You can remember them. These ones, not so much. This just kind of felt like an odd album. I do think they should have taken this year off, because along this album, they were dropping collabs, which, funny enough, the collabs they were doing were far better than the singles they were putting out for this new album. I think they probably should have just done the collabs and done nothing else, but that's my 2 cents on the matter here. But yeah, hopefully in 2026 they come out with better material than this, and yeah. But anywho, that's gonna be the video for today. But thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, goodbye.